The facts are we took money from the NYPD, put it into youth programs. We are reducing the size of the NYPD, but still in a way that can keep us safe.
Does it have any effect on police abuse? I don't know what it means.
The Big Apple officially voting to slash the NYPD budget by $1 billion amid a nationwide push to defund police.
Our next guest voted against the move and has been very vocal in his opposition to it, saying it couldn't have come at a worse time. Joining us live to explain why is New York City Councilman Joe Borelli. Joe, we always love having you on. It's good to see you, unfortunately, under these circumstances. Let's talk about the impact of this and what would happen. This includes eliminating 2 of the 4 NYPD classes this year, trimming the force by more than 1,100 cops, and reducing overtime by $352 million. What is the trickle-down effect here for folks at home who love the job that police are doing and want them out there protecting them?
Well, good morning, Jill, and yes, definitely miss you guys as well. In this case, the governor is actually right. You know, we've pushed this motion of defund the police under this false propagation that police are bad, police as an institution are evil, and that less police is somehow going to benefit us. And he's right. I mean, we're talking about reducing 1,200 police officers in our first year and reducing the number of overtime. That simply means that there will be a longer wait time for someone calling in for domestic violence. There'll be less detectives to investigate stray shootings, people who are burglarizing your house, and less cops to be visible in our most violent precincts. We have already seen a large rise in crime this year in New York City, and we are kidding ourselves if we believe that this will have a positive impact on reducing those numbers.
Joe, let's talk about that rise in crime. Just June from last year to June of this year. Take a look. Murders up almost 31%. Shooting incidents up a whopping 129%, and burglaries up 119%. You know, obviously, we focus a lot on the residents of New York City and the people that work in New York City, but a large part of our audience doesn't live anywhere near the Big Apple. They travel to it, though, as a tourist. Is this going to absolutely slash tourism to the area because people are scared?
Yeah, and this is an industry that's already been suffering thanks to COVID-19. Now we compounded on this fact that whether you live in Oklahoma or in New Jersey, you turn on the news and you see New York becoming a more violent place. Of course, you're less likely to go there. But look at the big picture. You know, we had 102 shooting victims last week alone, and not one single bullet was fired by the gun of an NYPD officer. And yet these are the justifications we're using to cut the force. So if people around the country are looking at New York City's crime rising, they should also look at the illogic that is going into making these decisions by our mayor, our city council, and everyone else involved in governing the city.
Well, and Joe, also I'm curious, do other police departments throughout the country look to the NYPD to see what they're doing?
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, it was the NYPD's CompStat program and broken windows policing that really served as the model for 3 decades of crime reduction, not just here, but elsewhere. And unfortunately, now we're seeing the same thing take place with the turnaround of how policing is done. I think New York City is just one of the first large cities in America that will be defunding its police department in some degree. And unfortunately, wherever this is going to result in problems.
Joe, there's an absolutely outrageous video circulating on social media. Let's show it to you and then get your reaction on the backside. Take a look.
A hairdresser has to go to school for longer than you do. Oh, half of you don't even have a college education to be out here when you can't even read a history book. You should know better. Traitor to your people.
Wow.
That is appalling. Joe, that was my reaction. What's your reaction?
Todd, you know what, Todd? It actually is funny, that video. That large African-American sergeant in front of those police officers, he's probably making about $170,000. He probably has a second house in the Poconos already, and he'll be retiring in his mid-40s. So if this person wants us to believe that he's the idiot in this equation, I think they have another thing coming for them.
Joe Borelli, as always, it is great to see you. Thank you for joining us with your insight. We appreciate it. Have a good day.